Okay, we are going to compare and order decimals in this lesson. To do that, what we have to do is we have to look at the place values. So we are going to be comparing 8 and 132 thousandths with 8 and 13 hundredths. Okay, to do that, what we need to do is we're lining them up. The first thing we look at is the ones place or the whole numbers. Are they the same or is there one bigger? Here, they're the same. So then we need to go to the tenths. Which one is bigger in the tenths? They're the same, they're equal. So 1 and 1 is equal, so then we move to the hundredths. We see if we can find one that's bigger or less in the hundredths place. And 3 and 3, they're the same, so they're equal. Now we're going to go to the thousandths place. Okay, we have a 2, and we know that we can put a 0 at the end here because those, we could just add a 0. It's like the useless 0 there. So what we do is we put the 0 at the end. 2 is bigger than 0. So since 2 is greater than 0, I know that 8 and 132 thousandths is greater than 8 and 13 hundredths. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to compare what digits make the relationship true. Okay, so we have 4 and 5 tenths. We have to make this true. So 4 and 5 tenths, we're not sure where we're going to put here, the missing number, is less than or equal to 4 and 53 hundredths. So think, the ones digit and the tenths digit are the same. So what digits are less than or equal to 3? So we're going to replace the square with, since these are the same, we have to be less or equal to 3. So we're going to replace it with 0, 1, 2, or 3. So we know that 450, right here, 450 hundredths, 451 hundredths, 452 hundredths, 453 hundredths are less than or equal to 453 hundredths. So the digits 0, 1, 2, or 3 make this relationship true. Okay, now let's go to this one. We have to make 6 and something hundredths greater than or equal to 5 and 99 hundredths. So we're going to replace the square with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Because we know that 6 is greater than 5 and 99 hundredths. 6 and 1 hundredths is greater than 599, 602, 603 hundredths, 604 hundredths, 6 and 5 hundredths, 6 and 6 hundredths, 6 and 7 hundredths, and so on are greater than or equal to 500 or 5 and 99 hundredths. So the digits 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 make this relationship true. All right, next on our list here is we're going to use the number line to order the decimals from least to greatest. So we're going to locate and label 1 and 7/10, 1 and 75/100, 1 and 5/10, and 1 and 5/100 on the number line. Well, I know that this is one whole. This is two wholes. So I see here it's 1 and 1/10, 1 and 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, and so on till you get to two wholes. So I know that 1 and 5/100 right here, 1 and 5/100, it's between, halfway between 1 and 1 and 1/10 is on the left side of the number line, so it's the least. 1 and 75/100 is farthest to the right on the number line, so it is the greatest. So the decimals in order from least to greatest are 1 and 5/100, 1 and 5/10, 1 and 7/10, and 1 and 75/100. That's from least to greatest. Okay, ordering the decimals from greatest to least, what you need to do, these are the numbers that they're giving us: $1.89, $2.15, and $1.09. So we're going to line up the decimal places first. Okay, so we have all the ones in the ones place, all the tenths in the tens place, all the hundreds in the hundreds place. We're going to compare the digits beginning with the ones digit, or the greatest place, because we know greatest to least. Well, if you look here, I know that there's two wholes, and these are one wholes. So because the 2 has the greatest value, $2.15 is the greatest number. And then what I'm going to do is now I'm going to look at, since this is the greatest, I'm going to now look at these two numbers. They're the same here. I need to go to the next place value, which is the tenths, to find out which is bigger. And I see that the 8 is bigger than 0. So I know this one right here is the greatest. That's going to be 1. This is going to be second. And this is going to be third. Okay. So the decimals in order from greatest to least are $2.15, $1.89, and $1.09. All right. Now what we need to do is we're going to change all fractions to decimals to now order these. Order these right here. Order these numbers. 88 hundredths, 1/4, 75 hundredths, and 1/8. Okay, so to do that, I already know that this benchmark number here is 0.25. So I'm going to change this to 0.25, which is 25 hundredths. So I'm going to actually put these in order. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to go from least to greatest. That's what I'm going to do with these numbers. Okay, so I know that 25 hundredths is less than 75 hundredths and less than 88 hundredths. The only thing I don't know right here, because I don't have a benchmark, is 1/8. Well, if I can use benchmark as a guide, I know that 1 piece of 4 is bigger than 1 piece of 8. So I am going to put this first because I know that 1/8 is smaller. Then we're going to go with 1/4. And next is line is 0.75 because you know that that's bigger than 0.25, which is 1/4. And last, which is your biggest decimal, would be 88 hundredths. So we have 1/8, which is the least amount, 1/4, 75 hundredths, and 88 hundredths. Another way you can get this to a decimal would be this. 1, and you're going to divide it by 8. Okay. To do that is you go, will 8 go into 1? It will not. It will go in 0 times. So we're going to have to add some zeros to this to get it to work. So we're going to put a decimal point because we know it's not a whole number. We're going to add a 10. We're going to add a 0 to make it 10. So now will 8 go into 10? Yes, it will. It will go in 1 time. 8 times 1 is 8. So now I'm going to take 10 minus the 8, which is 2. Okay, we're still going. I still need to add another 0 to it. Bring it down. 8 will go into 20. Well, let's see. 8 will go into once. It will go into it twice, which is 16. And it will go into it. It will not go into it 3 times because 3 times would be over. So I'm going to go twice and make this 16. I now need to subtract these. Make this a 1, make this a 10 because I'm bringing the 10 over. 1 and 0, which makes 10. 10 minus 6 is 4. I still have 4 left, so I can add 1 more 0 to it. And let's see what that does. Bring the 0 down. I know that 8 will go into 40 5 times because 8 times 5 is 40. And then we get 0. All right, so making this a decimal would actually, 1/8 is actually 125 thousandths. So we know that the 1 is smaller than the 2 already, so I already know that we are correct, that 1/8 is smaller than 1/4. Okay, we are now going to go to your assignment. What I want you to do is get out a piece of paper, make sure your name, number, and the date is on it. You're going to answer these questions, and then you're going to this page, and you're going to answer these questions. Remember that you can stop the video so you can actually look at the questions and answer them.